as predicted. So let's take a look at ETH real quick. Let's see. So we're going to pull up ETH to BTC, and we have this chart that we're looking at, and then we're going to go look at the ETH to US dollar comparative. This is going to be absolutely massive. Make sure you stay tuned if you're involved in ETH or looking to get into ETH. This is also going to be just because this is such a massive cryptocurrency, this is also going to be affecting Bitcoin. So you definitely want to take, okay, so you definitely want to check out this chart. Okay, so right now, this is on the 4 hour. I'm not going to lie to you. We have a low and then a higher low right here. But then obviously if we zoom out, we have this massive downtrend. And it looks like Bitcoin and ETH are both falling at the exact same time. And because neither one of them is moving, or actually this is going up and ETH is falling. So let's take a look at, so this is the measured move we have right here on ETH that we want to see, because as soon as we start hitting those double bottoms, so we have two targets. We have this target, we have this target. We called this as we called that it was going to hit this level and then move lower, and it actually did. And then we have this, and then we're potentially looking for potentially a wick right here, and then this would be our second. This is like the conservative target just to start cost-based averaging in, and then this is the longer time frame that I expect to happen. And if we do hit that target, it will be absolutely monumental. We're going to get to that in a second. And then I just streamed like a few minutes ago, so I pretty much covered everything you need to know a few minutes ago in those videos, but I'm going to keep you guys up to date on everything that we're looking at. And I'm going to be going over Doge just because I have questions about Doge. A lot, like, not I have questions, but a lot of people ask me about Doge, and obviously Doge doesn't have any intrinsic value, any real tokenomics. It technically provides liquidity, but you could say that about any token. But I don't really want to just be mean and say that it's a total crap coin, even though it is a total crap coin. I would prefer to just go over the TA and give a non-biased opinion on the TA of what's going on Dogecoin, and just leave you with the fact that Elon Musk tweeted about it multiple times to get little kids involved in cryptocurrency, because he knows that people that are older are not going to be wanting to get involved with crypto. The best target audience for people getting into cryptocurrency are going to be like millennials and younger kids. So they had all these people hype it up on social media accounts, got everybody involved in Doge, and then that brought a lot of liquidity into the space. So he did a good job of that, and yeah, mission accomplished. And a lot of people haven't figured it out yet, but that's the story. That's what obviously happened, because he put 1.5 billion on his balance sheet, and just common sense. So Bitcoin looking still decent. You still technically have this hammer formation, and take one more quick look at ETH. We're going to go over a few charts, and then we're going to look at Doge, just because I do get a lot of questions about Doge, and I do not see it as a legitimate investment whatsoever because of the tokenomics. And oh wow, so there's a couple things to look at. The first thing that we definitely want to take an eye on is this level right here. This level right here, it doesn't look like, because if you draw this trend line, it doesn't look like it's going to come down all the way and test this area. But we're going to draw this trend line just in case that is the case. So it could potentially come down, hit this level right here, and it looks like this is also a pretty relative support area. So that would be a potential bounce right here. And really what we're looking at more than anything with ETH, and I'm just going to take another quick look at it, and then we're going to go cover Doge really quick, and then we're going to go back to ETH, because there is massive potential, like I said, on ETH. And then I do get a lot of questions about I get a lot of questions about Doge, and then I also get a lot of questions about so yeah, we hit this level perfectly, continued down lower exactly as predicted. And And then really we're looking at this level right here. This is absolutely massive, and this is really the only thing stopping this trend, but it's already played out because this was really the low, and then this broke the lower low, and then basically we just got a little bit wick back up, a little bit of breathing room, which is exactly what we talked about for heading lower. And so really we're looking at this level, we're looking at this level, and then I do think that it's possible for us to come down to this level, and if that is, that would be like one of the biggest opportunities this year, which we're going to cover on this channel as it comes up. Let's just cover Doge real quick, just because I get a lot of questions about it. Doge, and then everybody goes off of USD comparative. I want to see what chart's most likely going to have the most liquidity. It's most likely going to be Bitromex. Yeah, it looks like a relative amount of liquidity. So what we want to do is we want to go to the weekly chart. I had the charts pulled up on Doge. Maybe I had it on Bybit, because I already had the charts are all drawn out already. Because I told some kid to stay away from it, and the second I told him to stay away from it, the charts just tanked, and I'm like, I just saved that kid so much money. Alright, so obviously, I'm sure you see all sorts of YouTubers hitting swing high to swing low. So first swing high to swing low is definitely going to be this one right here. Oh my gosh. So this is extremely bearish in and of itself right here. Let's see if I can get that perfect. Yeah. So price action comes up, goes down even more. And then really what we're looking at right here is the Fibonacci retracement, and whether we draw it as a retracement or a trend based, you hit this support area right here, test it not as support but as resistance. So this is called a bearish retest, which is not good. And we hit this area, confirm it as support, and then continue down lower. Yeah, it's not looking good on that perspective. On this chart right here, there is a wick, and that's really the only thing it has going for it. But that idea will quickly get negated. So for absolutely sure, the prices has to break above this level. It has to at least break above this level. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that. Let's take another look at another Fibonacci extension level. So yeah, we hit this right here, which is right next to the golden pocket, and then we're down on the golden pocket right there. That's not good. Yeah, right there, not good. Yeah, it doesn't really matter how you slice it on the fib. The fact that we came up here, hit this Fibonacci area right here, and then we're continuing lower, that's extremely bearish. Really, the only thing that I could show you on this chart to give it even like a ridiculously small amount of hope would be, this is obviously the area that you would go swing low to swing high. You would look at, let's see, so you have this Fibonacci area, and then it would be this level right here. If it breaks this level, it entirely invalidates this pump of an uptrend. So we're going to be taking a look at this level. So you have this 1, 2, so golden pocket, yeah, so right here. So, I mean, these are really the only two lines you need to be looking at. We very, very simply simplified it. It has to break above this line to even be remotely bullish, and then it has to break, if it breaks below this line, it's just all the bullish momentum is destroyed off of this massive pump. and with no fundamentals whatsoever, and the graph's looking more and more bearish by the day, obviously a not good coin to be holding on to. Let's go back to ETH. I only covered that because I just get a lot of questions about it, and I'm really not trying to be mean. I'm just going over the technical analysis. So that wasn't even like my opinion, that was just the technical analysis. I already told you guys my opinion though on it. And my opinion kind of lines up with the technical analysis and the fundamentals. Not looking good because there aren't any. Yeah. Let's, we've had this chart pretty bare for a while. Let's go over some of the key metrics on this chart and really, so there's a lot of different ways we're going to look at this, but let's go to the weekly. That's what I like to do. So we'll go to the weekly. And then very, very clearly right here, we have our swing low right here. And then very clearly right here, we have our swing high. So what we would do, there's a lot of different ways to measure this, but this seems to be the most accurate based off of what I'm looking at right now in the charts. So you would put this dot right here, which is very clearly our swing low in this area, and then this is our swing high. Oh wow, it's already broken this area. Did it hit that area almost perfectly? Oh my gosh, it hit it almost perfectly. This outer band, all right. So we can't use that. I think what else? Oh, we could definitely use a speed fan or a wedge. I think the speed fan is going to be the most. Speed fan, yeah, or a wedge, not a wedge, not a channel. Yeah, we're going to have to hit it with a speed fan. So again, we're on the weekly. We're going to this swing low, which is obviously extremely relevant right here, and then going, and we actually called the bottom on ETH. I'm going to zoom in to make sure I got the exact target. It looks like we hit it perfectly. I actually called the exact bottom on ETH a little bit ago on the channel, and I think I was one of the only YouTube channels on the internet to call the bottom on ETH around, it was like when it went to 16, and the way I did that was, yeah, this is definitely it right here. Wow, that looks really good. That looks really good. It looks like it just perfectly hits that area right there. As soon as we break through it, massive parabolic. Yeah, it looks really good. Nice. And then that gives us a little target right here. So I don't want to draw a trend line on it just because if the price action does continue, but that looks really good. Yeah, I'll just hit it with a, because I do think in the short term it is going to go up. So, well, in the relative once we get that move played out. So we'll hit this one right here. And then what is this? This is pretty high up. So probably give it at least another week. So put it right there. And this way we can just clear out the graph essentially. Like we're not going to have all these confusing lines on here. So go from right here to right here. Boom. And we'll draw this, take this off. Boom. That gives us a really good perspective. I'm trying to think about some other levels. So this is very clearly a level, and then that's obviously, let's see. Oh, on the shorter time frame, we can definitely do. You have this is definitely the swing low, and then this is definitely the swing high. So this is going to be relative. And this one we can use the fib circle. So we can go from right here. Let's see. Damn, that's terrible. What's right here? Dang, that is terrible. So you have that area right there, and then the swing low would be this area right here, and that doesn't work. Bummer. Let's see. Oh yeah, we could definitely hit it with a time zone. That will definitely work. I'm just lagging right now. Let's see. So this is on the weekly. We're gonna go swing low. This looks like the swing low. And then this would be the swing high right here. So yeah, that one looks good right there. Swing low. Swing high. And then yeah, it's really, wow, that's just perfect. Like, look at that. Green, red, green, red, green. And then we're in here. And then we're looking for this area right here, this target. So I'm just gonna draw a line right there. So again, we can clean up the charts and we can really get all these relevant key points that we need to be looking at on the charts without cluttering up the charts with all these different Fibonacci areas. So should have drawn that right there. I'm gonna delete that. Perfect. And then I want to change this to white. Perfect. So this really gives us a key fundamental area to look at because obviously it's very relevant that we saw very clearly. So this is definitely going to be a time zone. So this will be in 1 to 2 weeks. And then you have this right here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we might be seeing a, let's see. Oh, let's get a Fibonacci extension. If we had done our, I think we already have some on some other charts, but just to be entirely sure, I don't know if I've hit this exact level. So you have this right here. And you have this right here. This is clearly swing low to swing high. And then this is going to be the fib right here. So this just gives us a lot of information without cluttering up the charts. We have all our targets, we have everything. It's like, where's the price gonna go? Well, let's just take a look at all the different charts we have with all the information we have on them. All right, so horizontal, perfect. And so then once we start entering into these trades, we can just look at chart after chart and it's gonna make sense. Nice. What is this? Oh, this is Coinbase. Okay. So let's go back to Bybit because that's one of our best. Best is in like we have a lot of information on here. Let's go down to the 15-minute time frame. So we want to break this area as this is resistance. We want to break that area and turn it into support. And then we want to come up here. Now the reason it's dropping so much, and there is a relatively decent recovery, but according to this chart, we could definitely come down and hit this area right here. We're going to go back to ETH, BTC. This is what I was doing for like 4 hours yesterday at Buffalo Wild Wings. I was having a really fun time. So yeah, we're clearly, even on the 15, and there's not a lot of liquidity, but there's enough to chart it out. I didn't realize, it's not until you come down to the lower time frames that you realize how little of liquidity, and you see the Bollinger Bands right here, and we're just riding the Bollinger Bands down, and it's kind of exactly what we're talking about here. Is that, you know, you see this and you're like, oh, low, higher, low, but then when you see the massive downtrend and all the macro patterns, we're definitely going to hit this. It'll be interesting to see how we interact with this price action, and then that's why we have this support area right here, because at the best case scenario for this extremely bearish midterm and higher macro chart, we could potentially hit this and hit this as the least bearish scenario. But like I said, it's going to be absolutely legendary if it wicks this area right here. So we're going to keep you updated on that. But yeah, obviously very bearish, riding the Bollinger Bands down. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick. Bybit. Bitcoin's just consolidating. Really what I want to see is total. Nice. And then going back onto the 4 hour and then putting up market cipher A to get that idea that we've been looking at. Let me show you. So we go right here, zoom in. And you constantly get this idea of it basically wicks this level right here constantly. So on the 4 hour, it did come back, it did come down, but you do have this hammer stick. It's not like an incredible hammer stick by any stretch, but it did find support and it is looking relatively decent. So what I want to see is a potential close like anywhere like around these levels, anything more than 50%, so I can draw this. So you go to Fibonacci Retracement, measure the candlestick like this, zoom it in. This is massive, so yeah, we want to hold that level right there. So what we do is we get this right here, this trend line, horizontal line. We bring the price right here, and then this is the 50% line right here. So we put it like that, and then we're going to change the color to red. Why? Because if it doesn't close, and we're going to make it a little bit thicker, because if it doesn't close above that level, that's essentially bearish on, it's not price action, it's how much money's flowing into the space, but is obviously like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you see how it like rides the bands and how it interacts with double tops and stuff like that, how it is a self-fulfilling prophecy that even though it's not price action, it still is relevant. So we're putting this right here, and basically what we want to see on total market cap is we want to see the price action close on the 4-hourly above this red candlestick. If it or this red line, if it doesn't, then that's relatively going to be bearish. And I mean, I don't have a lot of concern, you know, in the more long-term time frames, and this does look pretty decent as starting to look like a hammer. It's not perfect, but there is a decent wick on this. The only thing is you do have this downtrend, and because it is on the hour, we're going to put a trend line on it, and we're going to make it green because we already have a red line, and we like rainbows on this channel. Alright, so you have this one right here. Perfect. Oh my gosh, look how good that looks. Okay, and then we're gonna make it this, you know, thickness with, because it's relatively important, it's not as important as this, and then so it doesn't get confusing, we're gonna make it green. So what we're looking at right now is we want to at least an hourly close above the red again, and then we want to see a break of this downtrend that we have set right here. So we want to see it's not the price action, but we want to see more money coming in to break this downtrend that in the smaller time frames is set. Obviously in the larger time frames, you know, it's in an uptrend. And again, you can't have a double bottom coming in with the price action coming in from the bottom. That's not textbook, but relatively speaking, everything looks really good. You have a low and then a higher low. And again, you know, you can't draw a valid trend line with only 2 touch points. It has to be 3 touch points for it to be an actual consolidation pattern. But just to give us a good idea of, you know, what's going on with this, and give us an idea into if we could start to see a break of, you know, these higher lows, which would be bearish. To give us a heads up, we're going to draw this right here, and essentially right now we're looking at this, which is a valid pattern. And we want to see if it breaks out bullish, if it breaks out upwards, that's going to be incredibly good for both altcoins and Bitcoin, more money flowing into the space. If we do see a breakdown, essentially this isn't entirely significant, like this isn't everything, at least not that I can see. We can back test and look if we can find another support level. And again, this is on the hourly chart, so this is more so just seeing into the future with a good idea of what's going on. But right now, on the macro and midterm time frames, we are clearly in an uptrend, and then on the hourly, we're just looking at a small consolidation, because we do have a high and then, or a low and then a higher low, and then we do have highs and then lower highs. So this is clearly a consolidation on the hourly that we're looking at, with again this trend line right here being an idea more so than an actual pattern. Yeah, and it looks like it's not gonna line up. Yeah. I would be definitely willing to look at the 4-hour, see if we can get 3 touch points on the 4-hour as a bottom support area, which would be absolutely massive. If we were to, it'd basically be a really nice warning signal for what's going on in the charts. If we were to see some downside, it would be a nice quick warning. So if we were to go to the 4-hour, which is right here, and you have this right here, And is this 3 touch points right here? Was it, so that's 1, 1, 2. You have just about 3 right here, but no cigar. And like I said, you know, if you force a touch point, like at the end of the day, that's just on you. Like that's just gonna make your technical analysis, if you force a touch point, less accurate, and you're only hurting yourself at that point. So, I mean, it looks like this is basically the trend, but it's not there. So what we can do is we can put this right here, which isn't entirely accurate. We can switch it over the color to white, and then we can go into this thickness and put it as a thin white line, more so as an idea, but not entirely valid, so that we don't get the wrong idea. But it is clearly trending this way. It's just not a valid technical analysis trend line, so we're not gonna put a massive amount of significance on it. And if it was on the hourly, I would ignore it, but because it is on the 4 hourly and it looks like the best ideas we have, potentially what this shows is that we could hit this level, possibly this level, and then bounce, and that would be bullish. Whereas if we were to break these areas, we could definitely be heading lower on total, and I would personally be staying out of the markets if that was the case. As long as we're constantly breaking all-time highs on top of all-time highs, I'm very bullish and have no problem staying in the market. And really, to continuate that idea, we have to see a break of this trend line, which is what we're looking in the relative short term. And everything looks good on the macro to midterm, so we're really just looking at this in the immediate short term. All right. And if we do head lower, you can still make money in cryptocurrency. It's just less guaranteed. And basically, people have to be bullish on a project because they have to switch the money from whatever they're investing in to something else that they think is going to be more bullish when no new money is flowing into the space. Whereas with new money flowing into the space, you can have basically everything go up, like Bitcoin, altcoins. What TF is this? Time frame? 1 hour? Yeah, so I mean, take this with a grain of salt, but if you want more data on Bitcoin, we're relatively bearish on this point, and then again, we're going to do one of those small, thin lines because this isn't extremely important, but it is relative. We want to see a break above this golden pocket before we start to become like very bullish. So we're going to draw that like that, and then let's make it black just because this is on the rainbow. Oh, that doesn't look good. We'll make it white. All right, and then we want to make this a lot thinner. So the relevancy on this is, you know, this is on the 1 hour, and this is just one of the clusters, but we do need to see a break above this level before we continue our bullish ideas, because like I said before, we are in an uptrend. It seems that we're still not in any consolidation patterns yet. And so what we want to see is basically we had this blow off top, which is just in the immediate short term. And what we wanted to see was a hit above this level and then continue higher, which we didn't see. So potentially hitting this area and then coming down lower, that's going to be bearish. And then essentially if we break through this level right here, that would be bullish. And it looks like the price action is just consolidating, and then potentially if it heads lower, looking for support. Let's see. And then we're going to take a quick look at, so we have this right here, which is going to be your high, and then this is going to be another very, very relevant, because obviously this is clearly the swing low. And we're going to look at this area right here, and on the larger, relatively speaking, we're on the hourly, on the smaller to mid time frame. And again, this is just the smallest time frame, so that on every metric we're bullish. But on the smaller to mid-term time frame, we want to hold this level right here, which is going to be, again, that 618 bottom of the golden pocket. Like, you know, this is what the Fibonacci retracement tool is used for. We want to continue higher. We want to bounce off this level and then continue higher. We did break a little bit below it. There's usually slippage in the market. That's nothing really to worry about. We just want to come down to this level and bounce higher to remain extremely bullish in the short term. Not that this is a trade, because we don't have any patterns. It looks like this could be a trend line, but I can already see that it's not going to line up and it's not going to be valid. This looks like a trend line right here, possibly. Let's take a look at this idea. And then if you want more information, if we get bigger, there's going to be a lot of opportunities. I'm not going to ever hit sponsorship. Like, I don't want to run ads, because ads are annoying, and I make plenty of money in cryptocurrency as it is, and that just goes against everything we believe in on the channel. But if we do get bigger, I can definitely put timestamps on the video. I would pay somebody to put timestamps on the video, so that you can be like, oh, go to the Bitcoin at this price, go to this at this price. The channel will only get bigger and better as we get bigger, but right now with like 3 viewers, it just is like, the content's there, but it'll be way, way better for way, way longer if we get more subs. I'll promise you that much. And you're never going to get sold a course or anything like that. It's not like stupid. So yeah, there's no real consolidation patterns on the small time frame for this consolidation. We do have, you know, some of these larger consolidation patterns that we're looking at. You know, obviously this is the Fibonacci extension of this channel that we've been looking at for a long time. But in the short term, we don't have any consolidation patterns to trade with a breakout. Again, it's in an uptrend and it's not tradable right now. I mean, you can trade it, but the risk to reward ratio isn't there because there's no real patterns. Let's take a look at, let me see if I have any questions. Hello. If you have questions, let me know if you have questions. BTC USD. That's Bybit. Let's go to BitBuy. Very low liquidity. Jeez. Coinbase. Coinbase is pretty much saying the same thing. I think we do have some more predominant. Yeah. We do have a nice trading channel right here. Is it validated on this upper band? I guess it has to be, yeah. So this is looking really cool right here. And this is really on the higher time frames what we're looking at. So yeah, we're just consolidating. There's no consolidation pattern. At least on the hourly, maybe on the 15. We're not going to go down to the 15. And then basically we could go to here. We can trade all in this channel right here before potentially breaking out, and then we have all our measured moves, but we have to wait for the breakout to figure out which way we're going to go. But according to everything, it looks like we're going to go up. but we can't assume. We have to wait and see. Let's take another look at ETH BTC. And then I think I'm going to take a break because however long it says I've been streaming, I streamed like an hour and 30 minutes before that, and then my laptop died. So yeah, I mean the macro charts are definitely in favor of this hitting this target right here because it's clearly a downtrend. And it just looks like it's kind of consolidating right here, having kind of this idea right here where, it breaks, it constantly hit this as support, and then basically it finally ended up breaking it. It just cooled off. It looks like it's kind of the same thing, cools off right here, heads lower, and then basically a small cool off before heading lower. Let's take another look at ETH. We go from kind of what's going on right now with it to the more macro time frames. Yeah, you have that wick. Looks like you have a double top right there. This is on the hourly. So we can get a measured move for that. I think this is the measured move possibly for that double top, it looks like. We'll look at it. So yeah, this looks like a double top right here. You have one top, two top. Price action comes in from the bottom. Let's get the measured move. So you take this trend line. And then obviously we do the real conservative, like guaranteed trades. So it'd be right here. And then neckline would be right here. So we just double check that that's right. So we're doing candle. I just want to make it like 100% accurate. So like, yeah, right here. Definitely right here. And then definitely right here. And then we'll take that out. We already hit that target. Congratulations, team. And then right here. And then that would be, yeah, that would be the neckline. And it is in that bearish, downtrend on the lowest time frame. And then that gives us an idea of where we could potentially reverse, with not potentially heading down a little bit lower in the short term to continue this downtrend. And again, the short term, and playing out that ETH to Bitcoin chart. We'll see what happens, and we'll keep you updated on both of those. Let's see. Yeah, we hit that perfect. Let's take a look at another ETH chart real quick. I'm probably gonna head out in like 10 minutes, and I'll be back on later. So this would be I think we've been streaming for an hour, I think, at this point, and I streamed an hour and 30 minutes earlier at least. And then I'll be streaming for a while later. So this is our nice targets that we have all set up. Oh, yeah, right? Yeah, we have some targets set up here. But Kraken straight cracked, my guy. This channel straight cracked, my guy. We're doing so good. Yeah, definitely could hit that. Oh, it looks like, yeah, it did hit that almost perfectly. Let's zoom in a little bit. So we hit this as support, 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 and then Yeah, we could hit this area, at least stop down, because you have this constant support, support, support. You could come up, hit this as support, and then we would either play out, this, which I guess is a measured move. I don't remember entirely why we have this line here, but it's obviously significant. So we could hit this line and then come down to this measured move. It looks like, yeah, especially with this bearish candlestick. So yeah, I'm expecting right here, and then I might just open up the smallest unleveraged long. So 1x leverage, not even borrowing, just like a very small amount just to start cost base averaging into that Ethereum position that we've been looking at. Let me get the phone pulled up. Because people are like, how do you build out these $10,000 positions and trade them all in profits? I'll show you guys on the channel. I'll do that live. So it looks like we're about to break we're about to break the low. So let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it's definitely going to hit our measured move. So this is the low, and it looks like we're right about to break this. Yeah, we just broke it. So the price should start to go down. And it looks like we're going to have our hit right here. And then potentially we're looking for a bounce. If we do get a potential bounce, look for it in the short term. And then we'll hit it with this trend based, which I'm going to pull up right now for it. Finally, the charts are getting spicy. Freaking, I don't even know why I'm tired. I need like an energy drink or something. Oh, I was up kind of late last night. Let's see. So right here, and then this is our anticipated move right here, and then right here. Oh wow, look how perfect that is right there, yeah. So I'm going to draw this line right here. And take off the fib. And then because this already broke, I'm going to just drag the other one down. So we're going to turn this one green. And then we're going to move this up to our 618 level right here. And we're going to turn this one green. And then we're going to delete this fib so we don't clutter up the chart. And then again, our measured move is right here. And then if we could potentially, there's going to be a few scenarios that I'm going to go over. The first one is that we potentially hit this area, wick the area, and then hit this area, test it as resistance, and continue down. The other area, possibility, which I think is a little bit less likely, but still in the cards, is that we hit this area right here, wick off of it, and break through this line right here, at which case that would be some really good opportunity, potentially. Just we got to keep an eye on, like I said, it's wicking pretty nice, but you have to understand that this was a massively bearish candle and it is still continuing that long position. So I have it pulled up on my other account, so I'm looking at this and I'll keep you updated on that as we go over to our other chart, which is extremely significant right here. And it looks like we might be hitting our measured move on our other chart. Oh, it looks like, yeah, we're starting to hit our measured move on our other chart. And really that's going to really come into play once we break this bottom right here. And just for ease of use so that we can really see what's going on easily, I'm going to turn this white. And then I'm going to make this thin so it's relative, like we obviously know, but just so it's so easy to look at, once it breaks this line, it should go relatively bearish. And I have both the price action pulled up on both my monitors right now, so you can only see one monitor currently, but we're basically looking at these levels right now, and I'll pull up the other chart when it's relative, but right now we're just watching these two charts. I'm watching both of them for you, so I'll let you know if anything. You can only see this one chart, but this is extremely relative chart, extremely important chart. And it looks like just because of the overextension with the fundamentals, it looks like I've been saying, that we could just wick this area right here And then, yeah, we're continuing down. I'm about to flip to the other chart, but we could potentially hit that yellow line before hitting a strong bounce that is in play, although that macro move is still also in play. So just cost-based averaging in and playing it safe is definitely the strategy I'm going to have to go with. So, I mean, we could obviously go in all on this white line, but you know, there's the support box on the bottom for a reason, and then that other move is there for a reason, and it's more on the macro time frames. So what I think is going to happen is that we're going to hit this level right here, potentially bounce off of it because of the things that I've been talking about. We're going to hit measured moves. We're going to have a little bit of a cool off, potentially then hit this wick right here. Consolidate in this area before eventually coming down and hitting this area right here, which this could happen a multitude of ways, but based off of it could happen based off of if Bitcoin goes down or if Bitcoin goes up and breaks out of the consolidation that it's in. It's not a pattern, but it is in consolidation when you look at the charts, like just based off of the fact that it's constantly setting higher lows and then the higher highs or lower highs. It's just a textbook consolidation pattern. So if we were to see that, it's not based off of trend line, so we can't trade it, but it's obviously clearly consolidating. If we were to break out of that consolidation to the upside, and if Ethereum was to continue to underperform Bitcoin, we could see it again, that move down here. The other opportunity would be, if Bitcoin slowly starts to go up, and then Ethereum just kind of stalls out, then we could see again. So there's a multitude of different ways this chart could play out, but it's obviously very relative and has been dictating the price for a long time. And at this point, you see it's nearly imperative. Like you have this macro chart right here, which is clearly showing on the higher time frames a double bottom. Or a double top, and as you zoom out and as we've gone over multiple times, and you have this low, and as soon as it breaks this lower low, it's going to be absolutely massively bearish. And then as you look at the ETH to USD comparative chart, which they're both correlated highly, you see that there's that double top that's clearly playing out with the pattern of the double top that you see on, I believe it's the hourly. We'll check back on that right now. And then also the candlestick formation being not a textbook bearish engulfing, but it is definitely showing a very strong selling demand and putting a lot of volume on the selling pressure, showing that the bears are definitely in control right now. And so, yeah, we are on the hourly chart on the USD ETH comparative, and there is clearly this double top, and this is clearly, again, it's not bearish engulfing textbook, because when you have a bearish engulfing, you have the previous price action. This would be a bearish engulfing right here. So you have this candle right here completely engulfed by this bearish candlestick. So the previous price action, which you don't see here. What you see here is a continuation, and it's actually stronger. You would see something like this is technically a doji, but this is more so like a 3 black crows pattern. It's not a 3 black crows pattern, because what you want to see is you want to see thick, not wicks, but you want to see candle bodies, and you want them to all be the same size. But when you see this candle body right here, and then when you see this candle body bigger right here, and then when you see this candle body bigger right here, what you're looking at visually through these candlesticks is you're seeing a continuation and a massive increase in selling pressure, which is as bearish, if not more bearish, than the textbook Black Crow, and again, that bearish engulfing idea with very little cool off. And so really we're looking at this close, but we're right next to our target right here that it looks like, just because of this continuation, and you see this massive candlestick body with no wick. With the cool off and the consolidation continuing to go down, you would have already seen a wick at this point. It looks like it's going to hit our measured move for this double top. again on the hourly chart, and basically it's fighting everything. But then you know what you say is in trading, when in doubt, zoom out. We do have, you know, on the midterm to higher terms, we do have this uptrend right here. And so really what we're looking at as a conservative target is this level that we're eyeing up right now. Again, because it will be relatively hard to negate this idea in the short term of this downtrend that we're clearly seeing right here. Really what we're looking for to negate that idea of a downtrend is hitting this level right here, which we covered a little bit ago on not the Fibonacci retracement, but the trend-based Fibonacci, where essentially we hit this level right here, and then we would have to break above this level. So currently this level is not support, it is resistance. And if we were to hit this resistance and break through it, that would start to give us the idea that we're reversing out of this downtrend. But because we're not seeing that currently, we have to be bearish in the immediate short term, with, you know, keeping in mind that this pattern is most likely going to hit this level and then possibly do a little bit of slippage before, you know, obviously continuing up in its higher trend, because obviously the larger time frames do take precedence. But you do have these patterns play out on the shorter term time frame in their respective time frames. So we're going to take another look at, so that's the ETH to USD comparative. And we're going to take a look at the, again, BTC to ETH comparative. And again, these are highly correlated and extremely relevant. And it looks like we did hit that break that we've been talking about for a while. We're still coming down on it, hitting it pretty decent. So again, this is this thin white line right here. This is to continuate this idea on all different time frames of this downtrend that we've been experiencing on, again, the ETH to Bitcoin comparative. We want to set this once this line breaks, and this is just really ease of use, easy to look at time frame. Just we already know that if we break this area right here, this is a low, and then this will set a lower low. And this is really just ease of use to really just very cut and dry, simply show you clear technical analysis. If we break this line right here, this entirely validates the small and at least midterm time frame that we're in this downtrend, and a continuation of this downtrend to, again, this measured move right here is what we're looking at as the most conservative bearish target. And with this candlestick right here being not textbook bearish engulfing, but obviously showing a clear selling demand, it looks like we're going to be breaking this, and then breaking this will show that on all time frames we are still in a downtrend, and then hitting this level right here. All right, let's go back to ETH USD. ETH USD. And again, it looks like, you know, we talk about a lot on this channel, like not just understanding the TA, but also the market psychology and what's really going on. It looks like shorters are just taking profits, but, you know, this is a wick, but it's obviously not a hammer formation. And then on top of it, like it is relatively decent that you do have in the short term, you do have a 50% or a little over 50% wick right here. But again, to start to look at some type of reversal, we would at least have to hit this level right here at 1959. And until we hit something like that, there's no chance of, there's no valid reversal type idea in the TA, just because, again, you do have this lower to midterm time frames with the measured move showing that we're heading down. And so really what this is just a cool off, kind of like what you see right here. You see the price action come up, come down, come up, and then it continues down, and you see it come down, cool off, and then continue down. You see it come up, cool off, and then continue up. You know, the market just has these cool off phases, and Elliott wave, it specifically tracks them with what's called impulse waves and then corrective waves. is like the formal technical analysis for what you would call, what we're seeing right here, which would be an impulse wave before that wick, which would be a corrective wave. And again, like we were saying, it's this continuation right here. Let's just take a quick look at Bitcoin and all the different charts we have on it. So it looks like it's still consolidating, and that's on Bybit. Then we have our Coinbase chart, and it looks like it is breaking this critical area, and Market Cipher is saying that on the 1 hour this is a no-go as far as a long position. And it looks like this is a double top with this looks like a double top right here on the hourly with the neckline being broken. And so we clearly needed to hold this area as support. The fact that we didn't hold it as support, you see this long wick down in the immediate short term, basically the market validating that this critical area of support was broken. On the higher time frames, you're obviously still in an uptrend, and for this double top to entirely play out, the textbook risk to reward ratio would be the neckline, and this would be the breakout if you were trading this to give you the maximum risk to reward ratio. But in technical analysis based off of uptrend fundamentals, you would have to break this level right here. So we're going to draw a line on this low right here, and to entirely validate this move without a wick, you would have to break this level right here for the price action to continue down. So you have this top right here, this second top right here, and technically textbook to again incentivize maximum rewards. This would be the neckline, but this trend can still go, as you see, low, higher low, higher low, and then higher low, and we would have to break this low right here, which I have on this line right here, to entirely confirm this move based off of the uptrend that we're looking at in the midterm time frame. Basically, the fundamentals behind why the patterns work. Okay. Then we're going to look at Phemex. Then we have some charts on Phemex, just a small. And really, this is what we're looking at, really, is you zoom out right here. And there are a lot of areas that we're looking at as clear support, and this would be one of them. We could potentially hit this area right here, which has a massive amount of clear support lines touching it. So this would definitely be an area we could be looking at right here, coming down, touching this area right here. The other thing to keep in mind is you see all these moving averages, and we can put more up right here, and then even more up right here. And when you look at all these different moving averages, because Bitcoin has been breaking a lot of all-time highs and the price action is so high, and a moving average is the average price of the line, you have all these lines below it. So you have this one, this one, this one, and really looking historically at what we've been looking at on Bitcoin with the charts, how it's been performing, it seems to find the most support on the 4 hour. So you would go to the 4 hour right here, and then you have all these moving averages right here where Bitcoin has the potential to find support on. Now, to find support on a moving average, from what I've seen in the markets in general, just talking about recently, if it's very bullish, if the asset is very bullish, meaning that, there's a lot of demand for it, a lot of fundamentals, and a correction, regardless of whether it's deserved or not, it continues to hold support because there's so much buying pressure. If it is bullish, it usually bounces off of a moving average, whereas if the market's more neutral or looking for potentially a cool down area, we could see a correction down to this level, or possibly something like this to basically confirm that the selling pressure is basically saying the price is where it should be. Whereas if the market feels that it's drastically undervalued and extremely bullish, we'll see it bounce off of some of these moving averages. And then the other thing is, obviously when we're testing support on these moving averages, what we want to see is we want to see a clear wick and we want to see a bounce. A lot of times what will happen with the price action is we'll see a bounce and it won't be confirmed with volume, and it will be one of those cool offs that we were talking about with that Elliott wave idea, where we see the corrective wave, it hits that area, but then it doesn't continue higher. It just bounces, cools off there temporarily before moving lower. So that's something that we want to be aware of. So again, this is another idea for where we might find support, and there are multiple different lines lining up right here. So you do have this channel, which has been very accurate. You see some support right here, you see resistance, and you see a clear validation on a breakthrough right here. When we do cross that level, potentially we could hit this level right here and bounce on the top of this what would you call this, on the top of this Fibonacci extension on this Fibonacci trading channel. And then if you zoom out into the micro or the macro, because again, when it comes to trading, the most relevant time frames are going to be on the macro charts. Something like this, or I want to pull out, there's another chart that we have that clearly shows the consolidation channel that we're in, and that would be potentially, depending on how bullish you are long term to mid term, that could be a really good opportunity to hit the bottom of that channel before finding a bounce. So we go to right here, and then again, this is a major support level. We could bounce this one right here, and that's more on the macro time frames. You see the support constantly being held all throughout here. This is probably one of the biggest areas right here. You can clearly see as soon as we got rejected from this area, it was massive. We found support and we broke through, and again, it was very bullish. So at the very least, you see that once we break this area, it's bearish, and as soon as we come back and bounce above this level, it's bullish, almost like how you would see price action interact with different moving averages. Obviously, price action being above moving averages is bullish, and when price action is below moving averages, it's bearish. And because and then essentially when you have moving averages that are, because we've been so bullish and because it's breaking all-time highs, essentially you have all these different moving averages above below the price of the price action. So Bitcoin is the price action, and then you have all these moving averages clearly down here, and so this is what we would call bullish. And there's a lot of reasons why the price action being above the moving averages is bullish, but one of them is because there's clearly a lot of areas where it can find support if it comes down, which we're looking at the idea of right now. So let's go back to Ethereum. And yeah, it looks like it's about to hit our measured move. We're going to go to our chart. So, it comes down to the small term and then the more macro charts. Really, you've been seeing Ethereum ride this massive wave right here all the way up on this trading channel. And you see it constantly riding right at the top of this trading channel, as where we still have room to come down all the way down to here. Like I said, I don't think that that's really in the cards just because of how bullish and undervalued it already is. But like I said, you can't ignore the technical analysis, and it is in the cards. It is a possibility. Something that we could see is something like you kind of see it, I believe, on the hourly, where you wick this area right above the golden pocket. That would be more realistic. And then that was just higher time frame zoomed out, basically showing that there's a lot of room for, let's see, Kraken, Coinbase. Looking for the chart that we had on that measured move. Should be Femex. Coinbase, no. I do like this for the longer time frames. We'll definitely come back to this when we get our moves in. Kraken. Shouldn't be. Oh, it is Kraken. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, so we did hit our measured move. Yeah, so we hit our measured move, wicked, and we did hit this moving average on the 4 hour, which is what I've been talking about. You want to look at the 4 hour moving averages, and those seem to be most relevant. Now we hit it, wicked it, and it looks like I said before, what we need to be careful about is potentially wicking it, cooling off, and then heading lower, which it looks like is going to be the case. Really, you would think that this Bitcoin to USD comparative, doesn't show like exactly where we're heading, and I think that is the case, and I agree. And so we're going to go back to our other chart that we're looking at, which is the ETH to Bitcoin comparative right here. And I'm actually going to be cost-based averaging in a little bit right now, as especially it continues to drop and break those wicks, because there's very low probability that we just wick to where we are. I think we are going lower, and I think that there are a lot of people that are just about to get absolutely murked, liquidated, going in off of opinions, not really taking a look at this crucial chart that we're looking at right now. Bitcoin's clearly consolidating, ETH's clearly moving down, and we at least need to hit this target just because of how bearish ETH is, and really, we're not seeing anything close to a wick right now. And so both the Bitcoin comparative chart that you have the Bitcoin comparative chart, and you have the ETH to Bitcoin chart, both on the mid to short term time frames being bearish and a downtrend, and we're literally right next to this low that we're looking at. And as soon as we break this low, it just entirely validates this downtrend on every single time frame but the long term. So essentially what I'm looking at is, am I buying right now? I'm just putting an ultra small cost-based average in right now, because the potential of us wicking right now is next to impossible. But to actually become, looking at, just not my opinion, even though it is technical analysis, not even looking at my technical analysis opinion, what you would do is, again, you would pull up this level that we already have pulled up right here, and you would look at this golden pocket area. So when we take the swing high to swing low right here, you see this is, let me double check and make sure this is still accurate, but you see the golden pocket, and we have to break above the golden pocket before we consider an idea of a reversal. And I would much prefer to, let's see, so you do have this swing low and then this swing high. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't really matter because it looks like, it's going down. But you guys saw me draw that earlier, that golden pocket that we took out. I think the price was like right here, and now it's just much lower, and we're looking at a higher time frame. But yeah, so that's why I didn't buy right there. And then essentially what I'm looking for is, it looks like we're just now breaking that lower low that you see, this wick right here. This is a lower low. It's harder to see because we're on a higher time frame, but you can see this wick right here, and we're just about to, yeah, we just broke it. So now you can see a continuation of downside, because on all metrics we're continuing to go lower, and then that's going to perpetuate the idea of ETH to, just gonna wait for these wicks to really come through. So what you're looking at right now, because you're like, okay, well, when's the price going to stop going down? And I mean, look how massive that bearish engulfing is. I'm sure there's people on every single channel but mine that are just freaking out. I mean, you can see my voice is kind of like monotone. And I'm sure there's people just getting their longs absolutely destroyed right now as we speak. And really what I'm looking at is, I mean, we haven't even hit this target right here yet. So everything's screaming for the price to continue down. And I'm sure there's people with long positions open right now just begging for the price to stop going down. And there's nothing in the charts that is saying that's going to be the case. I mean, downtrend, 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 downtrend. And this is just on ETH to Bitcoin comparative. I have the other chart pulled up on my other screen, and I can see that this is just a massively bearish engulfing candlestick, and it looks like we're just breaking resistance after resistance. And like I said, you know, I don't think that this madness is going to stop until at least bare minimum this point. And so like really we have the cheat codes right now. I think everybody in the space is like banging their head into their computer, like they're losing all their money, getting liquidated. And we're just looking at, well, if it doesn't at least hit this area right here, I don't see any real potential for um I don't see any real potential for a reversal anytime soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at, we're going to take this. It's kind of a big deal for a lot of people. Um, what are you thinking? Like, you want to do 6? Does that work for you? Yeah, just give me a second. Like I said, like a lot of kids are getting wrecked right now, so like they're probably crying, so I'm trying to help them. No, I'm down. Just like no, like literally like Ethereum just crashed and I'm there's like a lot of kids that are crying right now, so I'm trying to help. Oh yeah, people are like losing their life savings right now. So I just got to help them out. Everybody's getting liquidated. Like it's just like different people, but I gotta manage their trades and help them. So I'll just call you back. Like they're literally crying right now. So like the entire community is losing a fortune. So I'm helping them out. I'm helping them out. All right. I gotta go though. I'll text you. All right. Does that work for you? Give me like 30 minutes. I'm telling you, there's kids like losing their life savings right now. So I'm trying to help them. All right, bro. All right. All right. I'll text you. All right. Sorry. I know that you guys are freaking out right now. A lot of you guys. I know some of you guys are just like didn't take a trade, but I know a lot of people are taking a trade. And the price just keeps dropping. Exactly as predicted on our channel. And everybody's going to be like, free. But anyways, I guess it's not very funny. Um, so yeah, well, let's take a look at that graph again that nobody's looking at. So yeah, we're getting closer and closer, baby. Let's go. So we hit our measured move in the immediate short term finally. We validated this downtrend, which we said we were going to do. And we are heading to our first target right here, which is where I'm looking for an opportunity to start cost-based averaging in on low leverage. Or no leverage, actually. I'm actually just using my collateral on no leverage I'm using my Ethereum to buy in again lower than what so I bought Ethereum, like you guys know, we bought really heavy Ethereum at like 14K before it went like absolutely massively blasted off. We had one of the best calls in the space a little bit ago, and we that was just like one call, but so I'm using my Ethereum I bought at 14, and I'm using that Ethereum as payment method. So most people would use their Bitcoin, or they would use their US dollars as payment method to buy Ethereum. I'm using my Ethereum to cost-based average into more Ethereum at a better price. So I'm looking at cost-based averaging in right there. And then I'm obviously looking for these wicks right here. And then obviously this is where I'm loading up right here. And I would potentially only, guys, don't get wrecked. Like literally the market is literally bleeding money right now. Do not get wrecked. Don't get it twisted. Don't just look at this level right here and take it without the price action. At the end of the day, what you have to understand about trading, charts, Bitcoin, crypto, anything, what you have to understand is price action is king. It doesn't matter about the news. It doesn't matter. They're all relative. But at the end of the day, if price action validates or doesn't validate something, that is king. Price action is king. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. I know, and all the best traders on the planet know, price action is king. And so we're looking for this level, if not this Fibonacci extension level. But if we do not get a wick, if we do not get a bounce, don't dump your entire position in right there, because there's still room to get wrecked. I mean, you could retire on 100x long if you hit this perfectly. Do I recommend that? Not a chance. Not a chance. I wouldn't recommend anybody touch this with anything. On this channel, people should be doing 2x leverage at this level. If they know what they're doing. But just because I know my audience's experience level. But yeah, it looks like we're hitting our measured move, our first conservative target. And really what I'm looking for, and I told you guys exactly what I'm looking for. This is just nuts. Oh my gosh, these kids are crying. I'm telling you. These kids are just crying. That is massive. So what we're looking for is one. So we still have a long time for the hourly candlestick to close. And I do not recommend FOMOing in right now on this wick. I mean, without like extremely low. Like as far as like FOMOing in, like as far as buying power, if you haven't bought any ETH right now, maybe like 1% of your buying power, but for a lot of people that's only going to be $1. And so yeah, see, we're continuing lower. I told you. When I first started this channel, I kept like being really accurate with the price predictions, and I just kept saying like I told you on the channel so much, and I've gotten a lot better about that. So definitely like the video, because we are just tanking. Oh my gosh, we're about to hit our price prediction to start out with, and I'm sure everybody was like, "Oh, you're a bear, like you don't know what you're talking about, blah blah blah." Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, people are losing their life savings right now. You're going to have so many famous YouTubers in crypto say, I just lost 100,000, I just lost 30,000. Yep, we hit our price prediction. Bingo, baby. Bingo. And then I think I'm the only channel on the entire internet that called this, and nobody saw it coming. Well, except for me. Oh my gosh. So we're hitting our levels perfectly. This is just, oh my gosh. Jeez. So, oh, we're bouncing. We're bouncing. I just put in a little bit. But expect, so many limit orders are being filled at this point. Look at us hit that trading channel perfectly. Look at us perfectly bounce off that trading channel. So we hit this target perfectly. We hit this target perfectly. We hit this target perfectly. Let's zoom out a little bit. I just want to apologize. Not that I did anything wrong, but I just feel so bad for anybody in a long position right now. But like, if you would have listened to the channel, like, you wouldn't have got wrecked. And like, against every channel. Nobody could have predicted this but our channel. Oh my gosh, did you see that wick? Did you see that wick? Did you see that wick? Did I tell you? I promised I wasn't gonna do that anymore. Not like nobody's complaining, but I just feel mean doing that. But like I can't help myself. I did tell you guys that we were gonna hit this level exactly and then wick it before coming down further. So again, I'm like trying to get better about the I told you so's, but I did tell you guys that we were gonna hit this level exactly and then wick it. And I don't even know how we did it, but we did it. We had a flash wick. And really, again, what we're looking for right here is we're looking for this level right here. So I did say that we were going to wick it, potentially wick around in these areas right here, and then go lower. I'm going to charge my phone. I got to charge my phone. I'll be right back because I do need to. This is going to be one of the best buying opportunities in crypto. Brought to you by Hustle Invest Repeat. You're welcome. I'll be right back. And I really do mean you're welcome because there's no other channel covering this. But I got to charge my phone. hitting like the most, like, I'm working on this trade right now.
Alright, but what, can't you send me what you said? You told me that you put it in Coinbase and tell me what to do.
Well, this is huge right now. This is probably one of the biggest trades of the year. This is probably.
I don't understand what that has to do with you transferring work.
I'm very busy right now. This is like me telling people to put their life savings in at 11K. Like, these are the biggest trades of the entire year.
I'm not sure why the biggest trade of the year FX. You're not using all.
Because I'm busy. I'm busy. There's people losing everything right now. There's people going broke right now, like longing this. Like most of the community is longing this right now. Let's see. So you guys know when I was the only channel on the internet that called this bottom right here, it looks like we could potentially get another bottom right here on this speed fan. Although because like when we zoom out, so again you have this speed fan idea right here where we get the wick. We could get another wick right here, although really what we want to do is zoom out right here. So we're going to go over to Bybit, and then you do have this idea right here too, which we were talking about. But really we do have enough room, like I said before. I didn't think it was possible, but like I said, I don't like to bring my opinions into the charts, so I didn't, and I drew what the TA was telling me. And we could potentially come as low as, but again, this is, you know, we could potentially come as low as 1714. Again, I was saying something more like 1773 would be more. I don't know what this means. Oh, there's that. I think the exchange is down because we tanked and the price action isn't going down also. So I think Bybit broke for a second. And this does happen with exchanges. So it looks like we might have already wicked this area, it looks like, or something along these lines, but I think the exchange is broken. Yeah. Let's take a look at another exchange. Coinbase always breaks. Yeah, it's at 18. So Bybit currently broke because of this massive drop. Let's take a look at Kraken. Straight cracked, my guy. It looks like either Bybit has the liquidity and there was a scam wick. I'm not entirely sure what to make of it. Yeah, I mean, Kraken does have this right here. So it does look like Bybit straight broke, like literally broke. And I'm surprised Coinbase didn't break more. Something like Femex is something we can look at to get some more accurate price. Yeah, so it looks like we are down around 18. And I've talked a lot about the 18 level. And it looks like we're just wicking that area right now before again possibly moving lower. So we're going to pull up our Bybit charts again, but just realize that Bybit was overloaded with volume from this massive wick down, and currently the price is sitting about right here. And you know, potentially cost base averaging in right here on a very small position is something that I would be looking into. But again, the exchange got overloaded, so it's going to be around these levels that I'm looking at. All right, let's take a look at the ETH to Bitcoin chart. ETH, BTC. And yeah, we did get that wick I was talking about. And again, we just invalidated, any possible reversal, which I did talk about. That was nearly inevitable right here. Really what I'm looking for is, again, we do have this more macro downtrend continuation. I'm looking for this level still, so I do think things can still get very spicy, and potentially something like around a wick, something around these levels. Which would line up a lot with the Bitcoin comparative chart. So yeah, we are perfectly in our targets. Is this on? Yeah, this is on. Yeah, there we go. We're good. Let me just make sure. What are we looking at? Just because again, the exchanges are getting so overwhelmed. 0.033. What would have the most liquidity? Probably either Bitchermex or Bybit. So yeah, it looks like that's correct. And that's on Bybit or Binance and Bitchermex, just to get a confirmation. Yeah, it is looking like we did get that accuracy and the exchange isn't overloaded. So we're gonna go back to the exchange. This one just has less liquidity, and if Bybit, Bybit usually does pretty good with overloads. So I just wanted to make sure that we weren't actually lower. So I'm taking a look at the charts on my other account and kind of getting a different perspective so I can have both charts pulled up at the same time. Oh my gosh, it looks like it's wicking. No, don't wick. I can't FOMO in though. Damn. Is it gonna hit this area as resistance? So I'm looking at right now on the 6 hour, there's the 200 MA, and it looks like, damn, that thing wicked. Damn, that thing wicked. So this is looking good as a reversal for ETH. We're still, and it did break that 6 hour resistance level. All right, let's see, 1 hour. I'm gonna have to put a little bit in. Boom. And it's not FOMOing in because it does have a nice wick. So let's take a look at it for a second. But the continuation of downside is still definitely in play. You do have this nice wick though that's starting to come up. So again, it's that kind of idea. Something that I see like definitely as a possibility is, coming down, like maybe, coming down to like something like any of these levels right here, and then slowly going back down. You do have a break of what looks like on the 4 hour, it looks like there is this double top formation with the neckline being right here. Taking a quick look at it, it looks like that move might have just played out. Again, the only reason I'm still relatively bearish on the price, besides the graph alone, like on the comparative, is, yeah, it looks like we hit that just about perfectly. Nice. Yeah, so I mean, you measure that move out and it looks like we hit it just about perfectly. just about. And so it looks like this double top ended up playing out, and a lot of orders did get filled. So that kind of negates the idea for sure of, because we came down, and it looks like we did, somehow find support. Let me see. I guess there is a relatively decent amount of support at these levels. So it looks like we did find, you have resistance, and then flip support. So it looks like we did come down and flip support on this level, which I would not have guessed. I would have thought something like this, but this is the measured move. So coming down from this level right here, a lot of orders did get filled, and so like basically it shook out a lot of weak hands, and a lot of the stronger hands basically got a massive amount of buy orders in. So that's looking good. The only reason I continue in the midterm to be bullish, to short term, is because you do have this bearish engulfing right here, and then so that is something that you can't ignore, is you have that bearish engulfing right there on the 4-hour. And then again, this chart that's been extremely accurate, where we actually just hit our targets. I did say that, this was our conservative target, and we did hit it. But like I said, being conservative always it has been treating us very well. And so I still have to remain relatively pessimistic, in the sense that we did hit this target. We had all these targets set up that we hit. We hit this one, and then I told you guys it was going to wick, if not potentially come down lower. And on these more macro time frames with this ginormous double top, that's still playing out. You have this right here. This ginormous double top. We still have to anticipate that move, which would be to this level right here. And if that is the case and we do end up getting the wick, let me just double check the measurement on that. Let's see. So we're gonna go this line right here. Then we're gonna measure from right here. And then this would be the neckline. So, well, let's check this conservative neckline right here, which doesn't look like it would definitely be the neckline, but yeah, so even with this conservative neckline, and then yeah, obviously that is. So yeah, I mean, we have this double top idea still here right now, so. And this is on the macro, and it does look to be playing out with this consolidation pattern with no signs of reversal. So dang. So this really just comes down to patience. I really do want to FOMO in, but I just do not think that's appropriate. I did put a little bit in on the wick, like right around here, because technically it is good that we did get that wick. But, go big and then you have to go home with a bunch of losses is what I think. So we still have to remain conservative on this trade. Dang. Yeah, I mean that, and you guys will thank me later, regardless of what happens, because we don't lose money on this channel. And then it looks like we hit this level perfectly. So just about, it's a resistance area right here, it looks like. Now it's support. So yeah, it was this area right here. All right, let me see if I have any questions. Oh, yes, yes. This is why you stay conservative. This is why you stay conservative. I always I feel like it's me versus the world where I literally make all these calls on Bitcoin and everything and on ETH and everybody's like, no, you're wrong and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, there's no way Bitcoin's gonna hit 20K again. And bro. How long can BTC go down? This is ETH. I don't freak out. I exchanged ETH to BTC yesterday. Exchange ETH. So I mean, I wouldn't necessarily recommend, flip-flopping from ETH to Bitcoin or anything like that. I mean, it's really, good for you. But really what I'm looking for in these charts, I mean, good for you, do whatever you want. Like, we just talk about a lot, on the channel, practicality and really from my perspective, if you constantly swap, you're gonna get fees and whatever, and what a lot of guys end up doing is they end up swapping out and Bitcoin will pump and then they'll be like, oh, I gotta switch to ETH, and then ETH will pump and they're like, I gotta switch to they oh yeah, it's looking really good. Bitcoin will pump and they're like, I gotta switch to Bitcoin, and then ETH will pump and they're like, oh, I gotta switch to ETH, and then they're just chasing this rabbit. I mean, like I say, you gotta have a plan. You really gotta stick to it and know what you're doing. And for me, acquiring more ETH is definitely my plan, and that's all the biggest experts in the space plan if you look at any of their portfolios. And it's because, you look at the risk to reward ratio and you look at the potential of, this altcoin season continuing to perpetuate and Bitcoin consolidating. And that really gives Ethereum a lot of room to run, as we see with it breaking all-time highs. And then really what I just see is once we hit those measured moves and we really get in leveraged in on this position on, basically no leverage, just putting collateral against ETH, massive opportunity, if not the biggest opportunity in the space. And then once it hits 3 or 4,000, 5,000 or whatever, it'll just be apparent. Damn, I wish I would have bought ETH, but it's one of those things where everybody's just looks at the coin pumping and says, oh, it's gonna pump forever, but to get the best moves, you have to look at something like Cardano, which was constantly stagnated at 10 cents, and you kind of have to go against the crowd and say, no, this is definitely going up. And when it's not pumping, and then that's when you see the best rewards, is really when you know what you're buying and whatnot. Let's see what our other charts are looking like. So we'll see if that long signal ends up still playing out. Or that short signal, I mean. Yeah, and it's looking relatively bearish on Bitcoin with no really major support. We aren't seeing a short signal on Bitcoin on the hourly. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. Yeah, no. And then you do have a short signal right there. Look how accurate that was. That is ridiculous. You have this short signal right here and then massive dump. Let's see. So we're going back to the hourly. And then what I want to see again is that ETH to BTC. But if you guys have questions, let me know what the questions are going to be. So I mean, this is a reversal idea right here. This is a potential reversal idea. Again, I'm not really entirely convinced. Especially on this chart. This is ETH to BTC. This isn't... I mean, we did hit our move, and this is the conservative, like, best chance. But when you, when in doubt, zoom out, we're still in that downtrend. So, I mean, if we were potentially hitting this area and then bouncing lower, that would be what I would want to see for the bearish idea. Let's see. And then if we do start moving up and start invalidating the idea, what you don't want to do in trading is hold on to losing ideas. That's how you get wrecked. So we can look at a reversal type idea if that does occur. So Bitcoin, and then this is Bybit, this is Coinbase. Damn, we are good. Bravo. Bravo. How many times have we called the top and bottom on this channel? Like just today alone. Damn, we are good. Damn, we are good. This is by far the most underrated channel. I mean, this is really the only channel you would ever need. Like, it doesn't matter about these guys that have 100, 300,000 subs. They're not posting this content. They didn't just live call the bottom. Damn, we are good. This information is straight gold. Let's see. So that was Coinbase, Bybit. I mean, that is a good support area to find support at. I really just don't like, and we did get this close that we were looking for, which is huge, in the favor. So there is this is possibly the end of the correction. Again, there's no patterns to trade, so don't long it unless, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but it looks like the Wi-Fi is lagging. If it doesn't load up, I'm probably just gonna head out right now. Straight cracked, literally calling the bottom to the penny. Like the amount of times we've done this. Okay, let's go back to ETH. So here's my, again, I don't want to use the word opinion, but I can't say advice or anything like that legally, because they screw you. See, they want to keep you in the working class. They don't want people like me to help you out. So they say, oh, you're not allowed to help them out. So I have to say this is my opinion. Let me get to this chart. Alright, here we go. Oh my gosh. Right down to... Okay, so just on this stream alone, we've called 1, 2, 3, almost 4 bottoms on this stream alone. On the major, like, absolute bottoms. And I told you guys, I said, it's very... Like, go back and watch the stream. I literally said, it's very unlikely for us to come down to this level, possibly this level. I'm looking for something like this seems more realistic. Bro. We don't need, we deserve at least 300,000 subs. We deserve at least 300,000 subs. There's nobody with less than 3,000 subs. Oh, well, M&M Crypto's channel is pretty good. We need at least 100. We need at least 100,000 subs. We're like literally the most underrated channel on the entire internet by far. But yeah, we called the bottom again on ETH. So anyways. It's ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous how good we are on this channel. So like my 5 subscribers, you found a gold mine. You're welcome. But it's like I traded almost $500,000 in profit this year being conservative. So I was one of the best traders, one of the best crypto experts on the entire planet, and my blood was boiling watching all the crap I see on YouTube and these financial experts. My blood literally boiled. I had to make this channel because I'm sick of these people that have no clue what they are talking about. Pretend like they know what they're talking about and come on YouTube and they're straight broke and they just feed people a bunch of crap to pay their bills. It's disgusting. It's literally disgusting, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Shit made my blood boil. That's the only reason that this YouTube channel exists. Anyways. And so you'll never see ads on this channel or anything. Like I said, I'm retiring next year and I don't even really know how to even spend the money that's coming in right now. And that was, I could have retired this year, but I want to be conservative with my trades and stuff. So, you know, we called the bottom right here. We have to continue on this channel. We are conservative. We have traded around $500,000 in profits. With 0 losses. We haven't lost a penny, which I think we're the only people on the planet that's capable of that. Not trading $500,000 without losing a penny. So we have to remain conservative. I do like that we did get this hourly close literally exactly as predicted. We called this bottom, we called the Bitcoin bottom, we called this close, and we have to continue to believe that the price action might still go down, because right here we do have this indicator right here that's saying that the market is potentially, this says by market cipher to short the market. And then there's bullish and bearish arguments, but that's the thing. There's bullish and bearish arguments. So really, it's kind of well, not kind of. We have to look at the market. Let me go to this exact level. I'm gonna draw a Fibonacci extension. So you guys know I don't like to give my opinions on this channel. So I'm just gonna pull up this Fibonacci, and then I'm probably gonna go eat. I hope I like saved a bunch of people. Like the main thing that I try and do on this channel, and it's like just straight cheating, but I save so many people so much money. Because I mean, if you're in crypto, it's really hard to lose money, or it's really hard to what would be the correct word? In crypto, it's really hard to not make money. Yeah, so this is starting to look like a reversal type pattern right here. So you do have this wick that hit perfectly right here, and then you do have the golden pocket right here, and it did break above the golden pocket. So there's different types of traders, and the type of trader that I am is called a point-based trader, where you look at different levels, and you use technical analysis to look at different areas before trading points, basically, and is looking relatively decent. So I'm going to add a small, it looks like the market's still tanking. I'm going to add a small, like, and small to me is like less than a percentage, but that's still hundreds of dollars with how much I'm trading. But I'm gonna add a small position, and once the market stops dropping, I'm gonna cost base average in to this very small percentage. So go 25, and we'll do, yeah, that's perfect. It looks like the market is still dropping. And again, you can't really see that with Bybit because their servers are essentially nearly frozen, it looks like. Oh, it looks like they're moving relative. So I'm going to pull that area back up again so that you guys know exactly what we're looking at. I'm going to pull up obviously what we pulled up before. And then again, it's the skill, and it's literally, when I say skill, it's literally a skill, not something that you can learn, of hitting these perfect Fibonacci areas. And we did break above this, which is good. But we do want to stay above it, and we do want to hit candlestick closes above it. So we're looking at this area right here. My head hurts. Literally, I was telling my friend we were making, like, I don't even want to say how much money I made last night trading, but we were making a lot of money trading last night at Buffalo Wild Wings. I brought my laptop and I was just trading for like 4 hours. And I was like, I just need to take a break. My head hurts, like, because it's like winning the lottery like 50 times, like, literally. And eventually your head is just like, this is enough. Like, you can only win the lottery so many times before you get a headache. Yeah, so it pays to be conservative. I'm telling you guys, it pays to be conservative. Like, this is not, if you enter in a long position right now, you could get liquidated right here. But I'm giving you guys all the tools. I'm giving you exactly what you need to look at. Really, from my perspective, like I said before, why we can't just hop on the train and be like, oh, we're going to dump everything right here and the price is going to go. Like, that's just stupid, to be quite frank. Because when we look at this, we're going to look at this chart real quick. What is it on? Is it on Bitchermex? Yeah. So again, we're still in the downtrend on this. We're still in the downtrend on the ETH to BTC comparative. ETH to BTC. Oh, well, on the ETH to BTC, and then also the fiat ETH to USD comparative. And then when we look at this chart right here, not this one. This is on Bybit. Coinbase. Yeah. That's just straight. It's like it would be like one thing if I just like did it like every once in a while, but the fact that I've nailed every single bottom and every single top is just ridiculous. Oh my gosh. So it's just ridiculous. So we could potentially, consolidate, run up potentially this area right here, up to this level with ETH like slowly coming behind. And if that was the case, and again, we're not done with this move right here yet. This is looking good, but we still want to see how this candlestick closes. And let me pull out a trend-based fib. I should probably get off the charts just because, yeah, this thing is hyping me up. I'm literally gonna lose it because the TA on this channel is way too fire. And if I just keep hitting like all these accurate predictions, then like it's just gonna make my brain like explode with dopamine and give me a headache again. So we're looking at this area right here, and we want to hold this area right here. We're going to close that so we don't get distracted. Oh, and then we're going to look at the other area. So you have the golden pocket, then you have this, and then this would be a reversal out of the downtrend that we're in right now. So that's absolutely massive. Stupid. Called the bottom on the live stream. That's the thing, I always call everything live, so it's not like you can say anything like, oh, well, he was guessing, or we called the price action live. Let me double check that. Pull out the Fibonacci trend based. We call all the portfolios live, we call all the trades live, we call everything live. We're not like any other channel. There's very few channels that even stream live, and the ones that do are definitely not hitting our targets as consistently as we are, for sure. And it is this area right here, because we're not going swing low to swing high, we're going from relevant swing high. Yeah, so it is that one right there. So it comes up here, goes up here, and then yeah, that's it right there. So this one goes right here, then this one goes right here, and that just comes down to, again, the science. It looks like it did hit this area as support, so obviously very relative right here. Again, you can see it hit this area, so this is going to be massive right here. And boom. So if we hit this area right here, again, we have to break above it. We can't just look at this level and put limit orders there. That's not how it works. Potentially, if you wanted to be smart about it, you could potentially put a limit order right here, but still, this is just ideas on probabilities, and like a limit order is in buying as opposed to a limit order on a long position, because like I said, we long from a position of power, and these technicals are really just giving us an idea of what we're looking at. So this right here is the golden pocket area. So as we hold above this level, and potentially as we close above this level, this would start to give us a good idea that we could be reversing out of, and this dump would be over. And then basically to invalidate this downtrend, so this is the start of it. This is like step one. If we close an hourly candlestick above this level, that would be absolutely massive, because we already did like step 0.1 or 0.5, I mean, essentially, where we did wick above it. We did break it as resistance, which is massive, and really we're just now looking to close above it. And then from right here, we're just looking to hit this level right here. If we do wick this level, again, that's going to be like step 2.5, and then essentially step 3 would be if we closed above this level, then that would start to signify a reversal out of this area right here, which is what we're looking at as this downtrend that really started to perpetuate this move, which we actually called the dump. We actually called the top, we actually called the dump, and we actually called the bottom. And now we're doing TA to figure out where exactly we are on this dump. And we called it on Bitcoin, or on ETH too, not on this chart, but we did call it on ETH too. And that was just today. We called all the coins yesterday too, tops, bottoms. So yeah, it looks like it's just consolidating. Let's see. Which one were we looking at? So that's Kraken. I believe it's Bybit is the major one that we're looking at. I'm about to hop off soon, so yeah, we called the bottom right there. That was legendary. No cap. Nobody else called that. Nobody else called that. Trust me, nobody else called that. When I used to put this is like the most underrated crypto channel or whatever, literally I put out the best content. The community's sleeping. People are losing their life savings. Why? Because they're not following this channel. So yeah, we're looking at this level, and then I'm gonna put up another fib on this exact level for again that potential reversal idea, and then you guys know the trading strategy, and we'll go over all that in a second. I'm not using any leverage. I'm using my collateral, my capital as collateral to buy more Ethereum, but it's not with Ethereum, but it's not on margin. So, oh, that's just gorgeous. That is so gorgeous. Look at this, hit this level perfectly. So again, we're just looking at these levels right now. This is absolutely massive. And again, you guys know we clean up the charts. Just give me a second. And if we, again, with this significance of this level that I just drew right here is not only this level right here, that's support that we could potentially flip as resistance or break through. And this would be, so this is absolutely critical level right here. But not only that, but we're also looking at the reversal idea out of this downtrend, which we've been talking about. So I'll be right back, but I'm going to take a quick look at this. If you guys have questions, ask me questions. I don't know how much longer I can be on here just because my head's hurting. We're doing way too good. It's like I said, it's literally like winning the lottery like 50 times. Like my head's just hurting at this point. We've called to everything. There's no channel on the entire internet for crypto that's going to call half, not even 1/4 of what we called today alone. We called the top, the bottom, and on top of everybody. So I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. Alright, so ask me questions. I'm gonna answer a few questions, and then like I said, I'm gonna get out of here. So ask me questions. You deserve more. I'm taking your advice, collecting BTC and Cardano. For legals, don't say that that's my advice, but I did tell everybody to accumulate, Cardano around $1, and we obviously got in at 10 cents, and I was like, we got in at 10 cents, and I think it went up like 900% or something, and that was conservative. I think it went up 920 something percent, but and then I wasn't accumulating for the longest time, and then I said, we gotta look at $1. Like I don't even remember what it was. It was less than $1. Just recently, we like hit the bottom of it at like 88 cents or something. Like just recently the bottom, and then it pumped up. I think 24% today. But I mean, Cardano seems to be. I'm really like loading up on ETH right now because like I said, I already bought like a stupid. I unloaded the boat at 10 cents, and then I was like, you can never have enough Cardano, so I bought some more at that like 88 cents level, and then it popped off 24% today. But like it's up, you know what I mean? Like I think it definitely does have a lot of room to run, and like I said, I'm not even selling it this bull run. And then as far as Bitcoin, you really want to look at stock to flow ratio and stuff like that we go over a lot on this channel. But yeah, the like long term, that's not a bad strategy. I do like Ethereum. And then having something like, again, like diversifying small amounts into like Stellar and like some of these coins when you get really good evaluations on them. Like we called the bottom on Uni perfectly. I was literally screaming yesterday in Buffalo Wild Wings because we literally perfectly called the bottom on Uni. I mean, we called the bottom on perfectly everything. I mean, we called the bottom multiple times on Link, but like there's more than Bitcoin and Cardano. If I go over a coin, it's obviously massively, it's not a crap coin. There's like a lot of potential for it and blah, blah, blah. Basically, what I'm trying to say is every single coin that I've called on the channel so far has been, if not the best coin to accumulate. It's like I'm a wizard, like just predicting the future. We even just called the top recently on Polkadot, which I knew we were gonna do. We called this top on XLM, which I don't even want to talk about it. Basically, I'm always right is basically just to save you time. But so if I talk about a coin, like don't feel free to diversify. And not just hold Bitcoin and Cardano, because right now, obviously, we're looking into Ethereum, and Ethereum could have some massive opportunities. So, but I'm gonna head out right now because it looks like there's not really any questions. But I mean, long term, yes, Bitcoin and Cardano are obviously favorites of mine for very good reasons. And it looks like, yeah, I'm glad we were so conservative. And I think a lot of people, especially the market, thought that this was the bottom. And even though we constantly call the bottom on the bottom on the bottom, it looks like there is a massive potential for, you see that we're wicking this way. It looks like there's a massive potential for this dump to continue. And like I said, I'm just getting a headache. We're way too good on this channel. Like we deserve like at least 100,000 subs. Like it looks like we're about to possibly, but like I said, it's that indecision phase right now, which is good that we're staying out of the market. But yeah, it looks like it's dumping again, and it's just ridiculous. It's like who do you know that can, to predict the most valuable asset on the planet and say it's gonna go this way, then it's gonna go this way, then it's gonna go this way, then it's gonna go this way, and be 100% accurate every single second. It's ridiculous. It's giving me a headache. So, yeah, I mean, be careful. I showed you guys all the major lines, all the major resistance areas, everything that we're looking at, and really, I do like this area down here at this point, or potentially not getting greedy. Something like this looks also very attractive, but these two areas possibly has small accumulation. And then remember, what put us on is I don't even want to talk about how many people just lost their life savings. Like the community just went bankrupt longing ETH when we called that it was going to drop. And really what put us onto that fame is this level right here. So again, continue to look at this level, and then long term, if this does hit and we do end up bottoming right here, this could be absolutely massive. You know, I always talk about telling people to put their life savings in at 11,000 back when Bitcoin was 11,000, and I went on social media and told people to put their life savings in. I think that this trade, this swing trade from that position, if it does get a big wick, could be on that level of, you know, calling the bottom on Bitcoin, which, you know, I was one of the only, I don't like to say YouTubers, but I was one of the only crypto experts on the planet that called the bottom of this rally from risk to reward ratio being perfect. But yeah, I'm probably gonna go. That's just really what I'm looking at right now. I can't believe we hit everything perfectly. Um, if you're losing money right now, or if you want to make money, like obviously this is going to be the best YouTube channel that you could possibly find on the internet. That's not an exaggeration. There's nobody. Go check out any other chart. We just called the top and the bottom. I think just on this stream alone, we called 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we called the wick and a continuation down. So just on this chart alone, we called exactly what was going to happen in symmetrical order. All right, I'm out.